Trying to tell her to get Maggie. Yeah.
Are you in need of a website? Or does your company have a website but it's sort of dull? Well, we are here to help. We can help you design, build, and launch your new website, a website that is fully interactive with video, text, images, blogs, a shopping cart, and whatever else you want. We've helped thousands of customers get their ideal website, and guess what? It costs a lot less than you think. Contact us to get more information on how you can get a brand new dynamic website for your business, product, or service.
That one time for my nose.
All right. Welcome back to my world here on the internet. I'm your host, Moises Beauchamp Jr., coming at you with another one. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Hit that bell so that you're notified whenever we go live or upload. Support us over here by hitting that like button on your way in. Today, once again, we're talking about the young man that was murdered out in Pleasantville, Irving Mayren, and it's official, my good peoples. It's official. They've shut down the Centerfold. Is officially closed. I'm joined by my co-host, Miss Brenda, and what we're gonna do today is we're gonna go over this interview that was done with one of the young man's friends. Welcome, Miss Brenda, to the show. What are we going to see in this video that's interesting, Miss Brenda?
Well, a lot of us was wondering, where's those friends at when when he was there at the strip joint. Like which friend went in with him, which friend stood in the car, how one friend got his wallet, book bag. And this boy right here, he tends to tell little itty bitty details of the chain of events that occurred all the way up to where his friend went missing. Now, mind you, that this gentleman right here that's on the screen, and before I keep on going, I want to give a shout out to Kathy, to Anna, to Elena, and to all of our audience that is watching right now. If one of y'all can kindly post it too on the webpage, Elena, tell Maggie that we're on, and share while we're talking. I'd appreciate it. Well, this young gentleman right here, he was the young gentleman that was sitting out in the car because apparently his ID, he couldn't go in. So he stood out in the car. He was the one that kept FaceTiming his friend, so this gentleman is stating that they even sold liquor to his friend because at one point he was on FaceTime with his friend while they were telling him that the minimum to use on the credit card was $25 per purchase rather than the $6 minimum that they used to have before. And he states to where he thinks that they were playing him because before it was $6.
Right. So the question is where the question is where they were at while he was getting beat up, right? Or murdered.
Right.
Because that's what happened.
He says that he states that they were parked on the side of the building, where that liquor store is down. Right. They were parked right beside the liquor store, kind of like in the back area, like how he showed the YouTuber. So unfortunately, it was blocking anything of what was going on. And to their knowledge, they state that the place was very packed. The music was jumping, all of this is going on and someone's getting killed.
Right. So in other words, they didn't see what happened as far as what this gentleman is saying. Huh.
Right. He claims that the friend that he claims that, Irvin went in with his friend, right? With the other friend, and that his friend that was in there stated to him, let me get one more lap dance. And apparently the lap dance was about 8 minutes long. So he said, as soon as we're done with this lap dance, because apparently Irving didn't go with them in that boom boom room. That's that kind of room that they talk, that is private room. We call those little things the boom boom room. They go in there and it's kind of like an 8 minute whatever. So his gentleman friend was in there for about 8 minutes getting a lap dance. When he comes outside of the Centerfolds, he's thinking that Irving's out in the car because he can't find him in there. And little behold is that Irving never came out of that place apparently, because one of the bouncers, remember that this boy that's here on the TV on the screen right there, he stated that the bouncer told him, oh no, your friend has to come back and pick it up in the morning. And they insisted on getting his phone. And the bouncer, one of the bouncers that are being charged right now, probably was the one that gave him the cell phone, knowing dang well that they knew that boy had no life in him.
Right.
But still, the $1 million question is, how did he get up in the marsh when all of that obviously was checked?
Right. So should we go ahead and play some of this interview?
Yeah.
All right.
We were yelling his name to Irvin. FaceTime and shit. He's not picking up, but like,
can you hear that?
That shit was pretty weird. Like calling him
see
like
some
6
ones
times,
if
he's
y'all
not
can hear
picking up
that.
because that's my boy. Like one ring, he's already on the phone with me. It was just me, my boy, and Irvin, just us three. And my friend just came out. And he was like, "Yo, dude," like he came out. And he was like, "Yo, dude," he just explained everything to me because he's drunk. He kind of forgot I was on FaceTime with him. Off like shots of $25 each off the minimum, which is gonna get them pretty drunk.
Why you got that cut on your forehead, bro? Just in case.
My cat fucked me up. I just got a new cat.
You was there with him that night? Can you tell the people what happened, bro?
Alright, so basically, If you heard the story from someone else, there's one person that got ID'd and that didn't get let in, and that was me. So basically, I was outside of the club chilling in the car because they told me to go wait in the car for them to go do their stuff in the club.
Can you put your mask down?
The $1 million
So
question
they told me
is
like, yo, go wait in the car.
scratches.
So hold on. Start that over again.
So like we got to the club and shit,
Right.
and like we all tried to go in and take our chances because their boys went there before in hand, and they all like one of them got carded, so all of them left. So we went to go try our chances.
Right.
So I got carded, I didn't have my ID, and all of them got in with their IDs that said they were 19 and shit.
Okay.
And yeah,
How many of them was it?
it was
How
just
many of
me, my boy, and Irving.
Oh,
Just
it
us
was-
three.
it was just
Basically,
three.
it's just a small group.
So what time was that?
Literally, like, Lewis scooped us around like 1:30 a.m. Then we were like at the club
Right.
around 2. Then I texted a couple friends that I didn't get in the club around 2:30.
Because a lot of people out there, they getting the story confused. You know what I mean? They trying to say, what about the friends that was with them?
I mean,
You know what I mean? Like they thinking something bad about the
I mean,
friends.
at the end of the day,
right? But
like,
you're here though. You're
yeah.
here because they was wondering where's the friend side. What about we want to hear this side of the
So
story?
like basically, the night he went missing, like
So what happened? Like what made
so
you?
basically what my friend told me is so my friend went to go get a lap dance,
Right.
and then he told Irvin like, yo, like I'm gonna go get this lap dance and we gonna head out because I'm in the car. I got work the next morning and shit.
So you was the driver?
No, I wasn't the driver. It was
Okay.
my boy's car, but I was sitting in the back.
Right. Can you come here, bro? So let's try to address.
You want to go across the street?
Yeah. What was that again?
Fuck, what part was I on?
So so you're saying
Oh, the lap dance?
yeah.
Yeah, so the lap dance, so they clap up each other saying like, yo, I'm gonna get this lap dance, we gonna head out because I'm in the car, then everybody else is trying to go home too because they're pretty drunk and shit. So
Right.
my boy gets his lap dance, comes out, he thinks Irvin's gonna be in the club still because like they agreed to leave, but he didn't think he's gonna walk to the car.
Right.
So he looks a little around for him to see if he's there, and he doesn't. He comes back out to the car.
So your friends comes out, right? And then he goes back in looking for him?
No, he comes to the car, and like I don't see him walking up, and like it scares the shit out of me. He just opens the door and says, "Where's Irvin at?" I'm like, "What do you mean, where's Irvin at?"
So he was missing inside the club?
It's
when
like
he was
those,
in?
you know, the 8 minutes during those lap dances,
Your boy was getting the lap dance,
and
right?
Irvin just stayed back, like waiting for him. Just
Right.
Yeah.
And then so when he finished with the lap dance, what happened?
literally, like he looked for him.
confirmed. It's
then
an
came out
8-minute
and told me,
lap
"Yo,
dance."
where the fuck is Irvin at?" And shit. I don't know if I can curse on here.
No, you go.
Alright, bro. So he told me like, "Yo, where the fuck is he?" I'm like, "What you mean, where is he?" Like, you were in there with him. I don't know shit about him there.
Right.
And he told me like, "Yo, you wasn't in there and shit." I'm like, "Yo, you got to go back and find him because we're not."
I want to go there too.
Right.
I told him he told me he told me this one story in that club the same day. Like literally, when he came out, like they told him he had to get a $25 minimum charge on his card.
Right.
But in reality, my friend told me he was sick, so they were already off like shots of $25 each off the minimum, which is gonna get them pretty drunk and shit.
Oh, shit. So they were serving him drinking?
Yeah, they were serving him drinks.
With him and his and
Yeah,
the other
both of them.
friend.
So I'm pretty sure it's over like
Right.
$150 worth of drinks in there, shots. Yeah, he gave me like that energy, like, yo, he went missing, but like,
What the
we're
fuck?
like they're like we all drunk, so like like
Right.
we gonna suspect like something like that's gonna happen. So like basically, I told him, yo, FaceTime me because I told you the card shit, like the $25 minimum. He's like mad scared because he felt that energy, like them sucking him into a trap. So I told him, yo, go on FaceTime and FaceTime me, bro. And if I hear some shit happen, I'm gonna run in there and grab you out because like this
Right.
shit doesn't really seem right to me. How is he just gonna go like how is he not gonna like tell anybody where the fuck he's at? And like I've been calling his phone at this point, bro. Like FaceTime and FaceTime and FaceTime and FaceTime and FaceTime and FaceTime and shit. He's not picking up, but like that shit was pretty weird. Like calling him like 6 times, he's not picking up because that's my boy. Like one ring, he's already on the phone with me and shit, bro. So
Right.
basically, like he's in the club on FaceTime and shit.
Yeah, I honestly
Yo,
don't
what
think
happened,
that
bro? Like,
that young boy has anything to do
So you
with
went
it.
in there, you asked him.
No,
like,
my boy did it on FaceTime. So I was on FaceTime with him, literally listening to everything. And he says a story where like he had to kick out someone because he reached money into his tip jar and like had to fight him, throw him out. And like they were talking about that for like a couple minutes. And my friend just came out and he was like, yo, dude, like, he came out and he was like, yo, dude, he just explained everything to me because he's drunk. He kind of forgot I was on FaceTime with him. But I was like, yo, I know I was on FaceTime with him. He was like, bro, what the fuck? He was like, they told him like he was going to be on the right side of the building. So we just move. We go to the fucking right side of the building, start searching like not in the marshes, but like into like,
Right.
like the little big yellow shits are at.
Yeah, the
see,
harsh and shit.
Yeah. So like we go in there like
And y'all start looking for him and shit?
Yeah, basically like. But we weren't trying to go in too deep because like we didn't know how that shit was before then. So like if we take one step, we would have caught. We all fought in, and that would have been more trouble for all of us.
Right.
So we were being like mad cautious that one day, just looking for him, not trying to hurt ourselves too. So like we just looking for him. And then like we think like he went down Atlantic City and shit. So I told my boy like, yo, let's just spin by Atlantic City. Like, let's go spin
around there to see if you find him and shit.
Yeah, around like.
And there was nobody there, and y'all didn't see like no movement.
So see, they were under the impression that he walked to Atlantic City, which was a lot further away than his brother's house that was right down the street.
Yeah, and you
nothing, bro, nothing.
So what do you think?
Right. I mean, he was walking the whole opposite way towards where he lived at.
We're 19 and shit. I feel like he just did some dumb shit, got arrested, and like that's like I feel like that was the first thing on my mind too. Like,
right, because that's what the bouncers told them that he went. They told him that he went walking down the Alavez road.
He did get an altercation.
You know, but why? He knew that his friends were waiting for him. I don't think. I personally think he never made it out the club. I think that maybe they could have faced like a bait rape drug or something to make him look like he was too intoxicated to make the people in the bar think that it was just an intoxicated person, but little behold, them
why you got that cut on your phone, bro? Just in case.
To do whatever.
My cat
Obviously, if they close the place down, there must be other people involved.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, obviously, it had to happen in the club.
People that are in the outside are always
they were there the night before.
Because nobody seen it. They didn't see
it. That they did something.
Yeah, people would have seen somebody. People would have seen an altercation happening outside that would have drawn their attention that something was going on outside. Come on, people line up in crowds. Come on, a fight in a strip club or in any type of club or outside. Look at how outside when there's about to be a fight, how all them people come.
We're like brothers. We're all like brothers.
Right.
You would know that something is popping off in that club. It was too quiet. I think they might have slipped something in his drink. Something in his drink to make him look unconscious.
Yeah,
they probably even put him in a thing. Remember? Yeah, because look, the manager who was there that day, he said he wasn't there. He was taking a stripper home, right? So if you give him a date rape pill and you knock him out, he could have been the person that he was taking outside that way, because nobody even seen or heard an altercation. This is what the bouncers were telling people. But in all reality, it didn't really happen outside.
Oh, they said they're seeing something on the camera. They said they're seeing some kind of altercation on the camera out in the parking lot.
Yeah. When his friends went inside, nobody said, "Oh, your friend just was out there getting into a fight."
Right.
Then nobody said that.
That whole situation sounds suspect. Let's finish listening to what his other boy got to say.
I want to address is like people that are in the outside are always criticizing him or like Lewis, that they did something. Our friend group is like snakes and all that. And the one thing that they don't know is that they don't know that bond that we all had together. They don't know like how close we were. We hanged out every single day, and like we know that them two didn't do anything like the people on the outside think they did, because we know how our friendship is. We're like brothers. We're all like brothers. Our moms, Irving mom let us in as family, and that's one thing no one knows but us, but our friend group. And that's what just bothers me, and it's very disrespectful towards us and like everyone that was friends with Irving, because he knows how much we loved him and his family, and that we would do anything for him, and no matter what it was, we would do anything for him.
Look, there's more shit. Like, I don't know if you want to cut it down, but like,
go ahead, bro.
More important shit.
Yo, bro, talk your shit right now.
So,
while we here.
Yeah, so like we keep calling his phone and shit, and like we do a spin by Atlantic City, come back, then his brother lives like a few minutes around there, so we think like, yo, he's probably drunk. He probably just went to go nap on his brother's porch or some shit. So we just spin the block on his brother's. None. Then we just go back to the pub, keep FaceTiming him until a bouncer picks up the phone. When I got there, a bouncer answered the phone. He was like,
So you went back to the place and you called him when you
I
was
called him
outside?
100 more times, bro. Like, and the bouncer picks up. He was like, yo, your friend left his phone at Centerfold. He can come back tomorrow to pick it up. And he tries to hang up. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, bro? Where's my friend at? He's missing. Like, bro, like we need him right now.
It seems like they were trying to cut them short from the beginning.
Went somewhere with like other friends or something, but he can come back and pick up his phone tomorrow when it opens. And then he tries to like.
So what did he say? That your friend is what?
Like my friend left with someone else, like basically like another friend, but like it was just us three, you know?
Right.
Yeah. And he had his book bag, we had his wallet, so why the fuck he's gonna leave everything with us? Bro, what's really sus to me is that they found his phone in the back where the lap dances were at, but my boy, who said he was gonna get a lap dance, they'd come out and meet Irving and go to the car.
But that's what they saying.
Yeah, that's what they saying.
That they found the phone in the back, like in the private rooms and shit. Damn, man. So if there was one thing you could have changed that night, what would it be, bro?
There could have been two things. Bro, like start bringing my ID on me, because if we had 3 people, bro, this shit would have really not happened, bro. I would have not been here. Irving would have been at work. Everybody would have been happy. He got the lap dance, and literally during those 8 minutes, we lost track of him.
So while he's getting the lap dance, that's when nothing. You don't know what happened to Irving at that time, right? Because he was by himself at that point, right? Damn, man. It's because this is what they're saying. From what I heard, like they saw him running towards the right, like being chased by some people.
Yeah, but I was parked on the left side and like behind the bar, like not the bar, like the liquor store. So like parallel parking. So like I couldn't see.
You didn't have the view.
I
right?
didn't have the view of anything, bro. Literally nothing, and the music bumping too. I could not hear anything. This is like his 3rd time he went, but this is like my 1st time accompanying them.
So that was Irving's 3rd time going to this club, and on the 3rd time that he goes to this club, he doesn't leave the club. They find him dead in the marshland. I mean, I don't know, Brenda. What you think?
Right. I don't know, because since him being such a young boy, and because he was 19, and the people that they arrested was way beyond. They were like 25, 27, and one was a little. I don't remember what age they were, but they were a little bit past their 20s.
Yeah, they were grown men. They was nearby in their 30s.
Right, and it didn't look like it was the kind of crowd maybe that he would be associating himself with, because it was different. But can you pull up that video that I sent you about that one of the guys who got caught, about that little rap clip that he did?
The little rap clip, pull that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because apparently there's this church that works there, right, that has been having a problem with one of the bouncers, because in that you'll see it, that's how I found out, because you'll see where they're asking her, was it him that you had the problem with? And she said no. So apparently even people in there must have been having problems with maybe employees or management of some sort, you know.
Right.
When you pull it up,
I got you.
It's crazy. And like he said he was behind the liquor store, so he couldn't see anything. But once again, mind you, if anything like that was to pop off in a public place like that, you are going to see a crowd swarming to where it was going. Now, you remember in the beginning where that white boy, he was like, oh, the word on the street is that the manager came and hit him with the truck, and then they put him in the truck.
Right.
And then remember the manager told the brother he couldn't ID his brother. He could only ID his 2 friends. But he was like, how can you ID somebody if you wasn't there? Because supposedly he was dropping a stripper off at the house. Were you really dropping a stripper off in Atlantic City, or were you taking the body away from Centerfold and then returning it at that time when they found it, when they resumed the search at 9 o'clock in the morning?
Right. Okay, I got that video pulled up like you asked.
Okay. Well, this is hold on. This is the the thread where some guy is asking his friend, is this the bouncer that harasses you, while she works there? And apparently she said no, but then he comes across this video clip that was posted the day after this boy disappeared. Go ahead and play it.
All right.
He said that's how people go missing. Yep, and that's exactly what he rapped right after this boy disappeared.
Right, so he did that video shortly before the young man, or after?
Because you see it where the guy says, check this out. The boy and that girl that they're having a conversation, he's like, check this out. He said that's how people go missing, whatever, they go broke.
So that's what.
And remember, he stated.
So that's what is being pointed
he said
to
people,
right there.
I'm not going to say the word that he says, but he said people go broke. But remember, he was the one of them were the one that stated that he tried, that they had an altercation with somebody in the bar because they tried to put their hand in the tip jar. So is that what he's insinuating? That, people go missing and then they go broke, whatever he's stating there. But he's one of the gentlemen that is actually detained for this horrendous crime that they did, on this young boy. And look at how big and stocky he is. And I believe this one right here, that one is John Hill.
Yeah, he looked like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Look at how big he is. Yeah, but look at how, okay, it really doesn't, but look at how built he is compared to that little 19-year-old fragile boy that was just a kid going in there just trying to look at some cheeks.
And then 3 of them, because from
and
my understanding,
and they're probably heftier. Right.
Yeah, they bouncers.
Right, and for those girls.
They're bouncers. They got some type of a body on them, because you ain't gonna be bouncing and looking like a twig.
Right. Well, I think that what they kind of did was use too much excessive force on a 19-year-old boy, that it shouldn't have been that way, no matter how many times he went in there. But what I don't get is that them same bouncers that allowed him to go in were the same bouncers and manager that barred that boy the last time from going there. So why did that boy get barred from going there? And then why would you reallow him to go back in there? With what kind of malice intentions did you allow him to go back in there with? Like, did you think it wasn't over? Was there still a chip on your shoulder when you're allowed to let him come back even though he was barred off the premises? Because come on, once you're barred, you're barred. You're not going to go back.
Unless it's unless it's a certain amount of time that you're barred from the place.
Right. And then why would he be barred though? Like, what was he doing in there that would have caused him to get barred? Kids act different when they're not around their parents.
First of all, at that age, they weren't supposed to be there no way anyway.
Nor let alone getting served liquor at that age.
Right. Precisely.
It clearly says it on their Facebook and on the website that you had to be 21 and older to enter. These kids were 19 years old. So, all his friend does is, everything is cool while him and his friend are together. It's like they waited for his friend to get away from him for the purpose. See, like that is probably like a lion waiting for his prey and stuff like that, like earlier. They was probably watching him to see if he would not be around his friends, because how ironic is it that his friend goes to the boom boom room for an 8-minute lap dance. When he comes out, his friend has disappeared. And they
Gone.
get like 3 stories.
Well,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
well, the stories, the different stories comes from the employees at the Centerfold.
Right.
The friends, all 3 of them got the same story, or the same story from what I could see.
One of those workers, one of those bouncers told the mom or something like that, or the aunt, I believe it was, that he must have left with one of those dirty girls. Like when his parents came over there to ask them, that was one of the stories that they told him, that he must have left with one of those dirty girls, meaning one of the stripper girls.
Right.
So she, they wanted her to believe that maybe he went and he's hiked up somewhere with a chick. But I'm glad that family said, hell no, that don't sound like my kid. My kid never left from here. Something happened to my child right there, because a mother's intuition sometimes is really strong. And that mom stood there because she knew something was wrong with her son. And that's the reason why I believe that they placed him out there, because they thought, let me just give them to him. Look at the crowd. And this is during the search for him before they found him. This is the day before they found him.
Good evening. I'm Tracy Davidson. Thanks for being with us tonight. The 19-year-old man was last
This
seen
is where they interviewed that one man.
That's crazy.
Police say he was walking east on Delilah Road toward Atlantic City. The search for him is happening right now. New at 5, NBC 10's Stephen Fisher spoke with the man's family about the search effort. He joins us live from Pleasantville. Stephen, what can you tell us?
Yeah, well, Tracy, still an active scene out here in Pleasantville, just across Delilah Street here. You can see there are still people out there handing out these flyers that have Irving Mayren's name and picture on them. They've been doing this for hours, since early this morning. Irving, he was last seen at Centerfold, just across the street here. Did talk to his brother today, who says that it was alarming from the get-go, only because he has never gone missing and certainly never loses touch with family.
19-year-old Irving Mayren went missing late Saturday night, and today friends, family, and police began an all-out search to find him.
This is something out of the ordinary for him. He's not one to just walk away and just disappear.
The search began here Monday morning at Centerfolds on Delilah Road in Pleasantville, the last place Irving was seen.
He went inside this club right behind me, and when his friend stepped out, he realized he didn't come outside, and he went inside himself to look for him. And he was just getting a bunch of different stories from a bunch of different workers, and it was just all over the place. They couldn't give him one direct answer, and he couldn't find them since.
Friends, family, and volunteers spent the day posting these flyers and holding them up to drivers passing by.
From what I heard, he was an amazing kid. We need to bring him home. He needs to be found.
Then they find the body by a post where there's a flyer
Police used helicopters to search through nearby
of him
marks,
missing.
along with drones and counting
Because
bloodhounds. Police are
you see
also
where that red
processing
car is going?
surveillance video from inside
It
that
was
club.
a little bit
All
after that
hopeful
where they
this effort
placed the
will
flyer
find
on that
Irving
pole. He was
safe.
literally
It's overwhelming.
feet away,
I am
yards away
surprised
from
by the outturn, but he has a lot of loved ones. Even us that don't know him personally care enough to make sure that his photo is seen and he is found safe.
I mean, anything helps, either the police or us directly.
For some reason, I lost your sound. You muted yourself or something.
Anything can help.
Yeah, I muted myself.
Family and friends tell us they're committed to staying out here as long as they have to. They even say they're prepared to come back tomorrow if need be. Also, I have been in touch with police. They tell us so far, up to this point, no new updates, but because it is starting to get dark, they are going to have to suspend their search soon. They also tell us they plan on being back out here in Pleasantville tomorrow. And these are the flyers, of course, that are being posted around town, the ones that are being handed out to these cars here. If you see or hear anything about Irving Mayren, you're asked to contact police. We're live in Pleasantville. Stephen Fisher, NBC 10 News.
Learn digital marketing online in less than a year. Gain hands-on experience with the industry.
As soon as that aired, right? Because if you notice the timestamp on that video, on that news video, it stamps at 5 o'clock in the evening. Soon after, that's when they told everybody clear out. We're not going to search. We're going to resume the search tomorrow. And I'm starting to think, because they was really waiting on a search warrant to get the password to the Centerfold's camera system. And I'm wondering, did they get that, and did they see something that made them call off the search? Because how are you going to call it off and then the next day the child is right there? You know, it still doesn't make no sense. How did he land there? They're talking about some high tide. Come on now, those people, that family has videos of them walking through those marshes. That child was not there.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't there the night before. They were there, and sure enough, they were live as they were searching, and I seen some of it, and I didn't see no high tide in that area, and they were there. They were adamant. And the good thing about them is that they were recording, and they were on lives, and they documented the whole thing from the beginning, including the friends, because the friends, they were on FaceTime. They were documenting the whole thing from the beginning, and I think that's why they were able to find this young man that fast, because these people at the club, they didn't have time to do any kind of editing or getting rid of any of the footage. They didn't have none of that time because of this family being right there, putting the pressure on them.
Right. That's the kind of pressure that needs to happen out there with family members, with little Dulce too, because you apply pressure like that, you're going to get results. Because right now, if they was able, if what happened to this, unfortunately, matter that happened to this boy out there in Centerfold, but mind you, way before him, a lot of people has been talking about how that they have already grown suspicions of stuff that be happening in there in the Centerfold period. So whether or not this boy, his ultimate, unfortunately, what happened to him there might bring out other things that have happened, that nobody really knows about, that they could have been, hiding or whatever.
Well, from what I heard, this club has been closed before under the same ownership. They just come back under different names and different family members running the place.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I've heard they've been the same owners to Delilah's Den. When it was named before Delilah's Den.
From what I've heard,
yeah.
Yeah, okay. From what I've heard,
I heard that.
This is not the first time that they've had issues at that club.
Well, obviously, if that girl that works there was the one that made that, that comment, that boy, how we just found that short video clip of that rapper, one of the bouncers who did that to Irving, how she stated, obviously she must have been reaching out to somebody and telling them how somebody in there was mistreating her. So, I mean, and there was a lot of people that were very aware of how people were treating, somebody in there was treating her, because they were concerned, and they all kept asking her, is this the guy that keeps bothering you in there? Is this the guy? So something must be going on in there, because, they've been reaching out to a lot of people. So there must, like I said, there's got to be stories in there,
Right. Now, there's something else that I wanted to cover real quick. The gentleman that's missing out of Millville, is it Anthony Delamo, whatever.
Delamone, I think, I forgot what his last name is. Yeah, that's a weird ass story right there within itself.
What do you know about that?
Well, I ran across him today because somebody from another missing group had posted it. Since we're always sharing Dulce in different missing groups, I'm a part of a lot of them. So this missing group, they had shared this up there. And he went missing back in December of 2019. It was very weird. He was going southbound on 55. And the video, the slight surveillance that the police officers, the New Jersey State Police, was able to obtain, they seen him rearing to the right, right, going down the little thing, and they seen where somebody that matched his description, walking out, and then the car caught on fire. But then they caught him again walking down 49 and Wade Boulevard at that Wawa's that's over there.
Yeah.
So then after that, he disappeared. That's it. And he's been gone since December of 2019 from Millville. Now he, like his mom and his sister was saying that he did have issues with addiction, and that she doesn't know why he would have been in the area of Millville. But Millville is a very great place to go if you're looking for stuff. But like a rehab, because down here they got that rehab right here, not too far from us. That rehab, what is that house? That rehab house right here.
Oh yeah, on 49. I'm not sure what's the name of it. I know that there is a house there that they take addicts and they help them out on getting straight, I guess, getting cleaned or whatever. But I think that in order to go there, you already have to have some type of clean time, like detoxed or something.
Well, his mom claims that he was in a program in Biden, a Suboxone clinic, or I think it was in Atlantic City. No, in Atlantic City, he was going to a Suboxone clinic. So he was on that road of recovery. What they don't get is that after his accident, the only phone call that he made was to his ex-girlfriend. And then after that, his phone shuts off. His phone has never been used again after that.
I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit of this interview to see... so me personally could get an idea of what's going on with this case, because this is, I've seen the flyers and stuff, but I really don't know the whole details on this case. So I'm gonna go ahead and just play some of this interview.
Okay.
Surveillance video shows DeLomo walking away from the crash heading westbound on Route 49. DeLomo is, again, this is from Philadelphia.cbslocal.com. They do seem to have one detail wrong, but I believe the rest is correct, and we will check with Lisa and Jean when we bring them on to make sure that everything here is correct. And the article starts, New Jersey State Police searching for 47-year-old man who went missing after crash in Millville. New Jersey State Police are searching for a man who went missing after being involved in a motor vehicle crash in Cumberland County. State police say 47-year-old Anthony DeLomo was traveling southbound in a black Chevy Impala on Route 55 in Millville when his car traveled off the right side of the road, down an embankment, and into several trees. Surveillance video shows DeLomo walking away from the crash heading westbound on Route 49. DeLomo is described as a white man, approximately 5'10", 200 pounds, with brown hair and hazel eyes. He was last seen wearing a Philadelphia 76ers hat and sweatshirt. Now, as I mentioned earlier, when I said that they do seem to have one detail wrong, the article does say officials say DeLomo suffers from schizophrenia. We don't believe that to be true. We'll have his mom and sister can, clarify the details on that, but I don't believe that to be true. It says it should be approached with caution. Okay, so give me just a moment. I want to load the pictures of Anthony. We're going to go over those while we speak to his mom and sister. 1 second. And okay, there we go.
It's crazy how they falsely.
Nice and loaded. So I'm going to bring on Lisa and Jean, who is Anthony's mother and sister.
Give you a diagnosis.
Girls, I just want to say thank you
without
so much
even
for
knowing
joining us tonight. I'm so sorry for what you're going through, and you're not alone. You have us here. Me, my team, my chat. We're going to do everything we can to support you and try to help, bring an end to this nightmare for you. So thank you so much for having the strength to come forward tonight.
Thank you so much, Jason. We appreciate you helping us.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Do you want to start? Maybe just tell us a little bit about Anthony in general, just who he was and things like that. And then we'll lead us into the timeline of what was going on in the days and weeks before he went missing up to that day.
Yes, my son Anthony was a very loving, kind person. He has 2 children. They're beautiful children. One's in college and the other one's about to go to college.
In Tampa.
He had a heart of gold. He would have done anything for anybody. Very kind, good spirit. He always had high anxiety, a lot of anxiety, tons of anxiety. Ever since he was a small child, he had a hard time sleeping at night. He had dreams. He had night terrors. I took him to a therapist when he was very young, and they thought that he would be fine. But apparently, he started self-medicating, which I did not know about at a young age with alcohol, and continued to drink heavily until he was a full-fledged alcoholic. He almost died a few times from pancreatitis. He was put into hospitals. He went to rehab. He had a very hard time shaking off his addictions.
So he was an
were multiple
alcoholic, not a
addictions.
drug
He had
addict.
gambling problems.
Oh, maybe he did.
Just a high energy, anxious person, full of love, but just had a hard time dealing with issues in life. After he finally became clean and sober, I let him come live with me, and he was doing great for about 3 years. And he got in a car accident, which was not his fault at the time, and turned to Percocets. After the Percocet, he tried to get off of that. He hated being on drugs. He tried so hard to get off, but he had a really, really tough time. And he went from one thing to another, trying to, get off of this drug and get off of that drug. And he got a lot of paranoia from the drugs that he was taking. He was taking Adderall, then turned to crystal meth. Just a gamut of different things into his body. And then he started taking Suboxone, and he just had a downward spiral. He couldn't work. He couldn't function anymore. He went on Social Security disability, which a lot of people do when they have problems. Anyway, he got in a car accident December 28th.
Well, 29, December 29th.
It was 28th is when he left the house. 28th he left. I was very sick. I had the flu. He said, "Mom, I'll see you later." And that was the last time I heard from him. Then the police came to my window at 3:00 in the morning, shining flashlights to tell me my car was on fire on Route 47, on Route 55 rather. There had been an accident, and right away I thought my son had got killed, but they said no. He had walked away, but they were very concerned about the accident because they said they were concerned for his welfare, even
for his health.
And he wasn't in any trouble, that they just wanted to find him, and they searched the area. The car caught on fire.
And they
he walked
cameras.
away. They have cameras, and they saw him walking away. But he's not been seen since by anyone that I know of. We have hearsay information that he's been seen here.
But
there.
we don't know for sure.
We don't know for sure.
Okay, but you did say that you do believe that he has been that there's been sightings. Where are these sightings, and who are the people? Do they know each other? Or is this random sets of people? Who are the people saying they've seen him?
It's just random. Just people from different areas, like in Camden. I had my brother's best friend was in Camden. Because some people had said they spotted him at the transportation center, and more than one person. Then I sent my friend Craig down there. It's my brother's best friend, and he was asking people, and so many people say that they seen him by the picture, but they just say that he's a lot thinner. He has facial hair, and he doesn't look like the pic, because of course if he's on the streets he wouldn't really look the same, but we don't know for sure if that's definite. We just, it's just hearsay.
But okay, if he was on drugs, like they saying that he was, if he was on drugs like they're saying that he was, wouldn't you think that he would have some encounters with the law? I don't know, just many different things. I mean, the drugs that they're claiming that he was on, I don't see how he could make it under the radar like that without being detected.
Well, they did state later on into this interview right here, the mom did state that he had a warrant. He had a warrant. He had a lot of, he didn't have his license was suspended already. So technically he wasn't even supposed to be driving. He took her car. She didn't even know that he took her car.
All right. So I guess we'll just continue to listen. I mean, this is the first that I've heard all these details. Like I said, I was just seeing the flyers around, but never really looked into it.
Yeah, and how crazy is it that it's literally 2 months
So
after Dulce
he gets in.
disappeared?
Oh, really?
No, 3 months. 3 months, because Dulce disappeared September 16th of 2019, and here's December 28th, 29th of 2019, that this young gentleman disappears from Millville.
All right. There's something weird going on in Cumberland County. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
In the accident, where was he coming from? From the accident directly from, and where was he going to? Do we know the details?
We don't know where he was coming from. When the car crashed, my mother didn't even know he had the car. And he veered off the road, so we're not sure if he meant to do that or if it was an accident.
Okay.
So when they see him walking into the center of, we don't even know if he was going to Millville, because we didn't know he even knew anyone in Millville.
Now, when you say we don't know if he meant to do that, do you think there's a chance at all that he would have done something like that intentionally, or?
That's a possibility. You never know. There's no way to know for sure anything.
Right.
You know, it's like anything. When something happens like this, there's just no answers for sure. There's different, scenarios. Like the police said, they felt like he wanted to disappear. That's what they thought. So
I see. So the police are thinking that he was planning to maybe disappear, and that was part of it. Like how no.
They didn't say that. They just said, well, because he veered off the road, we're not sure what was the plan. They don't know. They said he doesn't want to be found.
Okay. And so where are you guys leaning with this? Are you thinking that whether it be drinking, experimenting with another substance, or just trying to get away from something else? Are you thinking, because to me it sounds most likely that maybe he got in the accident accidentally and it was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, kind of, okay, now I need to get out of here and take a break kind of thing?
That's what I think. I think maybe he was doing something he shouldn't have been doing.
Right.
And he crashed and he got scared, and he already had a warrant for his arrest. Plus, he didn't have a driver's license. He was driving without one. It was suspended.
Okay.
So it would have been probably his third offense. No, maybe a second. But he was afraid to go to jail, so he walked away from the accident. He never used his cell phone after that. I think there was only one phone call that was made that day to his ex-girlfriend, and she never answered the phone. But the police say there was no other activity on his phone. So I don't know, unless he had another phone, because he didn't make a phone call. Well, that's what the police say.
We really don't have any answers. We're just hoping that he's somewhere and that he, we want him to know that we love him and we want him to come home, and, we can get him any.
He could probably be in some kind of mental institute and just been there that long, because they're mental institutes, they're pretty good about not letting your business out. Under HIPAA law, they can't. So, maybe he might be in a mental institution somewhere, or even some sort of a drug rehabilitation center where, he's just, they're just keeping his information anonymous. I just don't know why he wouldn't contact his family and let them know that he's okay after all this time, because it's been long as Dulce has been missing, you said?
It's going to be 3 years. They stated about that the accident happened, like he left December 28th, but the accident didn't happen till the early morning, like past 12, the 29th of December. And the early morning that it happened. But who would use their cell phone one time? So he probably called his ex-girlfriend to reach out to her about the accident. She didn't turn on the phone, and if he was going through one of those little schizos, maybe withdrawing, maybe anything, it could be at December 29th. Do you know how frigid it is outside? And they said that they seen him with a jersey, so that means he had no sweater, probably no coat on, if they were able to see the kind of shirt he had on. So it was frigid out there. I know it had to be frigid back in, and we was out here back in December of, that's just crazy. And it was cold.
We'll have to check what the weather was on that date. Are you there?
Hold on. Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, he might have been having a few episodes, but it's very easy to go back and look at the weather on that day in that year of 2019. So just like I was able to look up Dulce's weather when she disappeared on September 16th, that's what I said, that maybe the person who was holding a strong alibi that had to do with Dulce's kidnapping possibly could have been fishing at Sunset Lake, because prime times for fishing on September 16th of 2019 was between the hours of 1 to 4. And it being that she disappeared after 4 o'clock, they could have been, packing up, sailing out, and decided that they wanted to stop by the park. But anyway, just the same thing as this gentleman right here. Like, did he evaporate also?
Yeah, it's just a lot of strange disappearances going on in this area. It makes you think. It really makes you think.
But like, I don't know if you've seen it, but I'll talk about it real fast and then I can get off. But that book that I sent you about that detective that finally wrote about Mark Himebaugh, that little boy who went missing like 26 years ago over there in Cape May.
Yeah, I got that. That link, the link to the book is below in the description if you want to pick it up. Is on Amazon. Go ahead, tell them about the book.
But it's crazy because just a few months ago, last year, before the year ended, the same news reporter lady that reported Mark missing when he went missing at 10 years old, she wanted to do like another interview because obviously it turned into a cold case. Now, this is when they started asking about the sneaker, when Cape May is saying that the sneaker didn't belong to Mark, but they know that it did. But anyway, little behold, because they sent that sneaker out to this new DNA testing system. So now, during that interview, okay, because you really didn't know too much about that case either, during that interview, they mentioned Mark's father. Apparently, Mark's father was a no good having man. So Mark's father had some type of, like how the people call it now, sneaky links. And unfortunately, some chain of events are pointing more to people and surroundings that, surrounded Mark's father that could have caused Mark's disappearance, because they're saying, this book is saying that Mark was ready to speak on something big and huge that was going on. So what was Mark part of, or what was Mark's father part of, that caused Mark's disappearance? And then who helped Mark disappear,
And how old was Mark when he disappeared?
10 years old.
So I wonder what a 10-year-old little boy could have revealed that would have caused his disappearance.
Yeah, and on top of that, they left. He was on a bike. His mom told him his mom was on the way to take a neighbor down to the auto shop to pick up the vehicle, right? And the mom, sees him riding his bike. She goes up to him and she asks him that he want to go with her. He told her no, that he didn't want to go because he wanted to go to this fire that was going on, this oil fire or whatever that was going on right there near his house. He wanted to go look at that. So a lot of people state that once his mom left, that they did see him walking with a young, a girl about his age. She was white, and they gave her a description of her. Mind you, that little girl either hasn't appeared either. So they found, like they said, they found his sneaker up on that beach, and they're trying to say that maybe he drowned. But like, where did his bike go? Like, he drowned with his bike? None of that stuff was found. The only thing that was left on the sand was a shoe, and his mom stated that the reason why those shoes were big on him was because they were his brother's sneakers, because he had twisted up his ankle or broke his ankle or something like that, and he needed comfy sneakers. So, and they didn't even want to process the sneaker for DNA, because to this day, 26 years later or 27 years later, they're still saying that that sneaker didn't belong to him, even though the mom says that was my son's sneaker, and there's photos with him with the same sneakers. They were LA Gear sneakers.
LA Gear sneakers.
And what's weird about that is that some of those people that they were looking into has Christian ties. So I'm just going to leave it right there.
Christian ties, huh? And he was from way out in Cape May.
Yep.
So what you want to? So about
it's
this,
weird.
So going back to this Anthony Delamo situation.
Well, I just noticed him, like I said, so I really didn't get to do much details. I just know that I noticed I thought, because, Millville, there's a lot of places that are Millville. And then, I was like, let me see if it's Millville, New Jersey. But when I seen that it said Wade Boulevard on 49, and that he was seen on or around that Wawa's that was over there, then I was figuring, like, how you not see him getting in a car? Because you got, once again, if he was to go down, he must have went either up the Wade Boulevard all the way to where there's no cameras, but you would have been caught with the rain glass. You would have been seen, because they got cameras out there, right? If you would have went the opposite way, you would have went the opposite way. You got the Millville High School would have caught cameras. If he would have walked further down the other way, he would have got caught at, cameras. Plenty of cameras around there. So all they spotted him was on the Wawa's, and then that was it. And then, spaceship came down and, just took him.
And just abducted him, huh?
Yep.
Isn't there cameras all up and down 55 as well?
Yeah, because that's where the New Jersey State Police officer said that they seen where his car veered to the right, causing him to slide off and causing the accident. So they don't know if he intentionally did that or the car really did rear off to the road. But what's fishy is that the car caught on fire, but he wasn't in the car when it caught on fire. It's weirder that you call your ex-girlfriend and then you shut the phone off and you're never heard from again. But, where could he be at?
Now, taking it full circle back around to the Centerfold, do you feel that them owners had something to do with this little boy's murder?
I don't think the actual owner, like the person who owns that actual place, but in some sense of a way, the owner did have parts in concealing what happened, yes. But were they physically there to see what happened? No. I believe that whatever happened, the blood that's in their hands got to do with the management and the bouncers that were there that day.
Right, because they did say something about the manager or something hitting the boy with the truck. Or was that the owner that they was talking about?
Well, the gentleman said owner, and then he kind of took it back and said manager. So, because sometimes people think that the manager is the owner, so it's okay how people word it. But later down the line, the manager was never even really on that property. The only people that were on that property was the management and the bouncers.
Right, and a lot of times, us Hispanics, we have a way of expressing ourselves in English that sometimes could confuse a lot of other people.
Well, yeah, because the wording is different, and because a manager to us means In American, a manager to us means somebody that's supervising an establishment, right? But a manager to them might mean somebody who actually owns the establishment. So it's, different words and, how you use them and how you can actually make sense and understand when the person is speaking. That helps out a lot.
Right.
But right there it tells you, I can't see it because it's too little, but right there it tells you where, he was about to let out this big old secret. And I believe if you scroll down, you're going to see that person named Jody. That Jody person must be his father, because right there it calls slanderous, how he wrote it. And he's real upset that this detective wrote that book out. And he was like, you're making us look bad and all of this other stuff. But like, where's your son?
Right.
If you scroll down, you'll see it. Scroll down to the reviews.
Oh, down to the reviews.
Yeah, his name is Jody.
The other reviews.
If you scroll down there, you'll see where Slanderous is the very first one that came out, and he's very upset that this detective right there.
Yeah, right here. Top
Yeah, with
reviews.
Slanderous. He says for 30 years, I guess that for 30 years, he has been real compliant with the police. So he's very disappointed that this ex-detective is releasing this information. It's a cold case now. Nothing you can hide anymore after a cold case. Everything is out on the table at a cold case. And if he was able to write it and make and promote it, I guess there's nothing incriminating on there that didn't make no sense to law enforcement.
Well, it depends on how the book is written. If it was written as a fiction or nonfiction,
He said it was I can't really see all of that because it's tiny as hell, but I did read it earlier. I just don't remember everything that it says on it.
Right.
But he said but he can live with whatever's going on. He's saying, that his character is being, it's not going to be credible or something like that. He said, or something he was saying.
Right, like defaming his character type of thing.
But his mom is wanting to look for her son. So his mom knew about this book because this detective was on that interview where it was the reporter, where it was the ex-detective, and then they had somebody else, and then they had the mom. And then that's when they were all saying how they was going to take that same sneaker and resubmit it to this new DNA system that's going on somewhere out there in Kentucky or something like that, that they're going to be able to determine, even though the mom said that's his sneaker, but they want to make sure, the police, I guess, want to make sure that it really is DNA compatible with him. But I don't understand, 27 years later, the DNA system started coming out, a long time ago, where you could have used, even trace DNA to come up with some type of something.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure he sweated in that sneaker.
Well, for 1977, you folks could come to Amazon and pick up the book and read it for yourself and get all the details. That link is below in the description. And I also put it in the chat room.
I'm waiting for mine to come in.
I know that's right.
Yeah, because I want to read it because it's real detailed, and for some reason, when Dulce disappeared, mind you, Mark's mom, she really didn't even hold interviews or any type of things like that either. If y'all watch her too, she really wasn't all in the news station either, like how people want people to be. She really wasn't in the news thing. But what struck me was that I felt like maybe there was some kind of either the same MO or maybe a type of the same abduction or maybe I don't know what, but when he did his 25 years or something like that, she reached out to to Dulce's mom and told her that not to stop searching for Dulce. Mind you, there has been tons of children gone missing in New Jersey, but she said that she felt like she had to tell her that. So is this mom's intuition? Could there be something? Could there kind of be the same MO into why she only reached out to Dulce's mom, which is the craziest thing, because, you know, out of all these abductions that has happened throughout the New Jersey, and she's never really spoken to anyone else's missing family, she chose to speak to Dulce's missing family. And then that's why I keep Mark in the back burner, because you know, she was the only one that gave a heartfelt thing and saying that not to let Dulce's case go cold, because unfortunately she would be going through what she's going through. But like I said, there was tons of missing children after Mark has disappeared, but none of them ever, I guess, reached out to her like Dulce has.
Right.
There's a documentary of someone being abducted that young, but by the time he could have left, he didn't, because he was institutionalized. Yeah, that's true. That's true, because, you know, at 5 years old, you can brainwash a child, and they won't know, you know, they won't remember anything about their past because they were very young, but they do have like triggers and tremors in their sleep, you know, like little flashes, and they'll start asking, did I ever sing this song before? You know, because, you know, you don't forget everything. Something, or a scent or a song or something like that will, you know, make you relive a memory, you know, things like that. So I'm not too quite sure, but little Billy disappeared 55 years ago, and little Billy disappeared 55 years ago. Mark Himebaugh disappeared, I think it's 27 years now. And then now Dulce is about to go on her 3rd year of disappearance.
Yeah.
And Billy was 5. Billy was 5, and he was out there with his sister. And what the strange thing is that a lot of people don't realize is that Billy was out there with his sister playing at 5 years old. His little sister was 3, little old Jill, she was 3, while the mom was inside making lunch. If it wasn't for the neighbor telling her, hey, you know, and Jill knocking on the door with that poinsettia saying that the boogeyman took Billy, she would have never known, because she was inside entertained while a 5 and a 3-year-old was running all around the Palace of Depression. You know,
right.
where Jill states that there was a drum fire out there and there was these guys arguing, but it could have been that they were chatting, because, you know, there was a lot of things that used to happen out there in the Palace of Depression, they said. But
Right.
that's neither here or there.
But
So
that's a topic for another day. Right now, we're talking about the official closing of the Centerfold.
yes, of the Centerfold.
So let's make a full circle and get back on topic, because we just went way left field.
No, it's not. We want, because you know why? You know why we're mentioning it? Because that same outreach and that same outpour that they did out there, that's actually showing results on what's going on. That's what you want to see with all these other cases, is the same results that happen with Irving. And unfortunately, you know, like, his family did not stand down.
Right, and that was the beautiful thing about it. Latinos united, and they prevailed at the end, because, you know, they did well. So far, they're getting justice for their loved one. Because had they not did that, they would have found a way. That, you know, them, the ones responsible, would have found a way to get away with this.
But yeah, no, and then like I said, the strange thing is that, did that boy ever leave the club? You know, that's the multi-million question, because how did he still appear there after it was thoroughly searched? You know, and if you look at the news article, if you look at the news person at 5 o'clock because they said it was getting dark outside. That's why they told him to get off. But at 5 o'clock, when that news thing aired out, it was still daytime outside.
Yeah,
So why did they end?
From what I understand, law enforcement left around 7 p.m. The family didn't leave until after midnight.
They left about 5:30. Law enforcement left about 5:30 p.m.
Okay.
And then the family left about 12:30. And when they came back early in the morning, the cousin and the uncle, you see how close it was, is that the cousin and the uncle, they were able to walk from Centerfold's down some. That's how close it was to then find him there the next day after they all walked through all of that. And the good thing about these people were that they took videos of everything. Everything.
They documented everything.
Single thing. Every single thing. And I bet you right now, in that family, there is somebody viewing every single footage that came by to see if somebody missed something. But I'm pretty sure that family didn't miss nothing.
Right. In closing, that
you can't stop searching for someone if you want, doing what this family did. And like I said, unfortunately, it didn't pan out the way that they wanted to. But if you're missing a loved one, and you still haven't received any type of, justice, or I suggest that you stand up for what's right and don't stop fighting until you get your results, like this family did.
So in other words, we need to unite as these people did, and I'm saying, do our thing. Do our thing. That was the perfect blueprint. On how to do it.
Yes, it was. And that's how it should have been done, for how it should be done. Just like that. Well, I thank everybody for joining. I'm going to get off of this because my neck's been hurting. So I thank you guys for tuning in, to Kathy and Anna and Elena and whoever else is listening in the background to us. We appreciate you for
Miss Maggie and
Maggie, yes, and all them good peoples.
And
Melanie and all them good peoples.
Yeah, Felicia Cloud, or whatever.
That's Anna. That's Anna. No Cloud. Get him, Anna. Get him, Anna. Lord have mercy. Poor Anna. You be forgetting about Anna.
But yeah, officially, the Centerfold Club has been officially closed down. Justice for this family. Justice for the young man. Let's keep this family in our prayers, y'all. It's a sad situation. And once again, man, keep your loved ones close. Make sure that how can I explain it? Appreciate your loved ones, because they may walk out the door and never come back. That's just how this world is getting down nowadays. So with that said, my good peoples, y'all make it a phenomenal evening. Enjoy the rest of your night. I know that I am. So with that said, I'm gone. One love, my good peoples. Peace. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Hit that like button on the way out, and do all them good things to support your boy. You know what you got to do. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell. If you are already a veteran to the channel, you know that I got much love for you. And with that, is your boy Moises Beauchamp signing out. Peace. Thank you for stopping through. Is being broke ruining your life? Trust me, I know what it's like. Man, there's nothing more frustrating than having a felony. And to make matters even worse, no one hires felons. What you really need is cash flow to quickly get yourself back on board. So it's my pleasure to give you access to my newsletter. You see, I've been helping people learn internet marketing for over 15 years. And my newsletter means that for free, you get access to daily free internet marketing training. Plus, if you have any questions or you get stuck, you can pick up the phone and call or text me, so help is never far away. So, you've really got nothing to lose and a lifetime of cash flow and happiness to gain. So click the button below now to start receiving all of my free goodies.